the Northwest Weather Podcast from Fox 13 Seattle.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Northwest Weather Podcast. I'm Chief Meteorologist Brian McMillan here at Fox 13 Seattle, joined by Adam Gerke, our traffic guru here, and weather enthusiast Adam.
Yes.
And we got a lot going on, and we're going to cut right to the chase here because this has been kind of an interesting couple of weeks for us here weather-wise, but especially as you work your way east of the Cascades. So let's get to our weather headlines first. And I want to take a look here at some of the high temperatures across the country. We've been so spoiled here in the Pacific Northwest, Adam. It has been mild for the most part. We had some cool mornings and some cool afternoons, but nothing like what they've been seeing around the country.
Did I hear you say we were behind the jet stream? Is that what?
Well, we're basically on the other side of the jet stream. Okay, so all that cold air. Well, remember the jet stream's like a fast-moving river of air in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and it separates the warm air from the cooler air. We've been on the warm side. Okay, we've had this ridge of high pressure that's just been beautifully sitting over us for the past couple of weeks now at this point, and all that cold air. Well, it has to go somewhere, right? And most of the time, when we're seeing nice weather here on the West Coast, they're not seeing very nice weather on the East Coast, right? So that was so being on the warm side of the jet stream has prevented us from getting that really chilly air from the north, and folks out in really all the way down to the southern part of our country, down into Mississippi and Texas.
We were
have
seeing
seen frigid temperatures.
Falling iguanas in Florida.
Yes, falling iguanas in Florida. The winter storm that impacted this area really did a number, and several people, over a dozen people, have died. Several people have been injured by, falling trees, and in South Carolina there was a canopy that kind of crushed some people as well. 10 people are injured there. Millions digging out of snow. Thousands and thousands of people without power. It's all due to the not just the snow, okay? Because I think folks east of the Rockies can handle their snow, but it's really that ice. It's the ice.
That's what adds the weight, pulls the branches down, pulls the trees down, the power lines down.
And we haven't had a good ice storm here in Seattle for maybe a couple of years now. We did have that, if you remember.
That's me knocking
a couple of years
on wood.
2 or 3 years ago, we had that ice storm here, and that was nasty. I remember
terrible.
A lot of us had to stay at work till like the late afternoon, early evening until that thawed out. Do you remember that?
Well, I didn't make it in.
Oh, you didn't make it in? That's right. You were stuck in your driveway.
I couldn't make it out the driveway.
That's right. I remember that now. Well, we are going to be seeing another round of snow. Check this out. Another round of snow up in the northeast part of the country, and that's due to this bomb cyclone. Okay, what is that? Well, that's a rapidly intensifying storm. Drops more than 24 millibars in under 24 hours. And this is going to be impacting the East Coast out there towards New York and Boston and up into the northeast part of the country. So that could be bringing some action by this weekend up to that area.
The old nor'easter.
It's already been pounded with, cold temperatures. We have a freeze warning down in Florida. Once again, falling iguanas potentially. Cold weather advisory up in the northeast part of the state, or northeast part of the country, I should say. But meanwhile, back here at home, Adam, it's been awesome. It really has. I mean, we've had 2 weeks of dry weather.
Correct.
We've had above average temperatures most of the month. We did have a little cool spell there between the 21st and the 26th. But yeah, we got warming temps ahead here as we head into February. And boy, we just have not seen much rain here for the second half of the month.
But there's a back half to that pendulum swinging, because the ski factor has kind of fallen apart for us in the mountains. And there's several thoughts that come to mind on that, where we saw Mount Baker yesterday this weekend, they were going to be doing a big snowboarding competition championship.
It's like
thing.
A slalom competition or something like that.
Yeah, they build bowls and scoops and things like that for the snowboarders. They said, we can't do it this year. There's just not enough snow. We'll see you next year. And so that was one thought.
And Mount Baker, by the way, is one of the areas of North America that gets hit the hardest, right? I mean, when we're talking about a good ski season at, Stevens and Snoqualmie, the snow is epic. It is, there's 12 feet of it up there at Mount Baker. Right now, you can see brown patches up on Mount Baker.
The other thought that comes to mind on this is how this will impact us come this summer when we need people want to water their lawn. Well, they can't, because we don't have the water from the snowpack in the mountains to then fill the reservoirs to then give us the drinking water that we need here.
A lot of our basins right now, especially in the southern end of our state, are running at less than half of what they would normally be at up to this point in the winter.
And this is despite the fact that we saw all that torrential downpour back in December. I mean, we had like, I don't know, I can't remember how many cubic feet that they were calculating in terms of like how many Olympic swimming pools had dumped on the region here. It was many.
And of course we had the flooding and all that stuff, right? And then now all of a sudden we've been dry for the past couple of weeks. And this has been pretty historic. It's all due to this ridge of high pressure that's been over us. And you know what? Another one's going to develop here coming up. We are looking at another ridge potentially developing heading into next week. And so we could get more dry weather and more mild temperatures. But again, we did go 14 days without seeing measurable precip here in Seattle. And that is second place all time. When you look back at the all-time records that go back to 1945, that is the second longest dry streak that we've had in the month of January. So pretty impressive. This particular model, if you're watching this and not listening to it, it's still rendering here. So we're not going to see snow levels at the surface there on Monday and Tuesday. But I want to show you this anyway because over the next few days, yes, we are going to see some snow at the passes over the next 24 hours, and that includes Wednesday and Thursday, so the 28th and 29th. But once you get into the weekend, those snow levels jump right back up. So we just can't seem to catch a break when it comes to our snowfall. We need to get some cooler temperatures in here, and we need to get some snowstorms to really help out that snowpack. But it's looking mainly dry. Once we get into Saturday and really beyond, all the way through the middle of next week, we'll have another little system that comes through Sunday night. But that's pretty much it. And then most of next week looks mainly dry. And as we look ahead at the 6 to 10 day outlook, looking into the first part of February there, it looks near normal precip and warmer than average. So when we're talking warmer than average or likely warmer than average, I mean, we're talking temps into the mid 50s. That's not going to help the snowpack up there, especially at Snoqualmie Pass. And we've interviewed the poor folks up there at Snoqualmie Pass several times. And really, Adam, it's been a tough go for them.
Yeah,
so
it has.
That's one of our lower resorts. Down in Oregon, up on Mount Hood, they have the three big resorts are Ski Bowl, Mount Hood Meadows, and then Timberline. Timberline is basically our Mount Baker, right? And even in a bad season, you can still get up there. You can still do some runs because it's way up high. They actually do skiing year-round down at Timberline. But then you get down into the lower elevations, down towards Ski Bowl, like Snoqualmie Pass, which is down to 3,000 feet. If it's a bad season, they're having a rough time opening. So there you go.
Wow.
All right.
How strange.
Yeah. Going to be interesting to see how things pan out here over the course of the next week. But I don't see any big storms coming our way for at least the next 7 to 10 days. All right, Adam. I jumped the gun a little bit on the graphic, but here we go.
Look at that.
Time for our City of the Week, Adam. And, this is one of our favorite little segments here. We give clues to a specific city. This is a great way to learn a little bit more about our area, right?
Yeah.
So I am going to be doing it today. Usually do it.
Okay, let's see if I can get into my Vulcan mind meld and if I can start reading your mind.
That's right. Okay, here we go. This city had a population of over 136,000 people in 2024, making it the fourth most populous city in the greater Seattle area and the sixth most populous city in Washington State. I'm going to keep going. This city was incorporated in 1890. It is actually the second oldest incorporated city in King County after Seattle. Okay.
Kirkland.
No. During and after the Great Depression, this city was known as the lettuce capital of the world.
Wow.
Lettuce capital. Who would have thought that we would have the lettuce capital of the world? And then after World War II, it began to grow more rapidly. And then between 1953 and 1960, the city size grew tenfold, or 12-fold, actually. It just exploded. And part of the reason for that, or soon after that, after the bunch of people moved there, Boeing began building there.
Renton.
No.
Really?
And
Tukwila.
then other aerospace and high-tech companies moved in.
Kent?
Yes, it is Kent. Yes. The city of Kent had housed labs and facilities that were used to build the lunar roving vehicles used in the Apollo program, which is kind of, you can still go and check some of that stuff out. They still have that. And of course, a couple other things here. The Showware Center, popular place for the Seattle Thunderbirds. They play there.
Yes.
The Tacoma Stars play in the Arena League down there as well. So there you go. Kent, ladies and gentlemen. Good job.
It's funny you mentioned that because I happen to know I've got a family member who works for Jeff Bezos in Blue Origin, and they were in Kent, or at least some of their offices were in Kent.
Okay.
He also worked for Exotic Metals, which was in Kent, and so Aerospace Industries Metal and all of the above.
Interesting.
So it was like, that's got to be it.
Yep,
so,
it is Kent. I had family in Kent, so we would go there all the time growing up, I remember. But nowadays, I mean, other than like the ShoWare Center, I don't really have I don't have a good reason to go to Kent. I need more reasons to go to Kent.
And it's massive.
It is.
It really is big.
Yeah.
So that's good one. And hence the reason when you said fourth largest, I was like, okay, well, okay.
I didn't realize it had been around so long.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a good one. That's a good one, Brian.
Well, thank you. That's our city of the week there. Yes, enjoy this rain coming up. If you are traveling over the mountains coming up, I would say over the next 24 hours, you may run into some snow. So as always, Adam, right?
Yes.
Bring your chains, right?
You must have chains in your vehicle regardless of whether or not they are required for past travel at the time. It's sort of a requirement. You must have it in your car, some sort of traction device. And I believe that applies to snow socks now as well as the chains or cables.
I got sold by the guy at Les Schwab on snow socks.
Yeah.
So I am going to see how that works if I ever need to put those things on.
That it continues to defy me. I prefer like steel.
Yes,
I want that versus ice, but snow socks, it'll be a good start. So
I'll let you know. If I ever have to use them, I'm gonna tell you all about it. Yeah. We'll dedicate a whole segment on this podcast to snow socks on the tires. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Adam, and thank you for listening. We'll be back next week. Yes, and enjoy the drier weather that we're going to end up having here over the weekend after we finally get some lowland rain over the next few days. Could see about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rain, which is much, much needed. Have a great day, everybody.
Northwest Weather is available wherever you get your podcast.